Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are at the moment. Um, we are so happy to have you here with us in the Create Your Dream Life webinar, where we're going to share with you everything that we are currently doing to set that up for ourselves. And I'm super excited to have Fabian here with us today, as well as our incredible mentor, Steph Stone. So my name is Desiree. For those that do not know me, I am originally from Germany and I am married to my Spanish husband, and we are currently living in Tokyo, Japan. I'm also a mom of two little ones that have just come home from school. And it's really that whole journey of motherhood that let's see what everyone. Um, the whole journey of motherhood that inspired me to go into that whole space of health. So about 4 years ago, I got certified to become a metaphysical and clinical aromatherapist. And my mission ever since then has been to educate other moms and families on how to live a more natural lifestyle, right? To ditch the toxins from their homes and also to use essential oils as medicine and just dive more into their health and just ditch all these chemicals out there. So while this is my absolute purpose and my passion, I also knew that I needed to find an aligned way to make an income. One that will actually support my family, because we do have a lot of dreams up our sleeves when we one day move back to Europe again. So for that, I really felt like I needed to create that for all of us. So yeah, I've been living abroad since I'm 11 years old. So I'm a true third culture kid. And in this journey, I was also super blessed to meet Fabian, because we actually went to high school together when we were both living in Indonesia. So I really don't want to date ourselves, but back 25 plus years ago, we met, and I'm super blessed that that this actually brought us back together and that we're doing this now. So over to you, Fabian.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, maybe just a little bit about myself. Welcome, everyone. My name is Fabian. I'm first and foremost a dad of two, 8 and 6 years old. I'm a husband, and I've been working in the corporate world now for about 20 years, mostly in the sporting goods industry. I've also been very blessed, like Desiree. I've really been all over the world and a globetrotter. So my jobs have taken me from Germany to Hong Kong to Panama, back to Hong Kong, and currently in Singapore. Um, Outside maybe a little bit of what I do in the corporate space, I love all things sports, endurance sports, so really triathlon, ultra running. My wife always says anything that the crazier the better, and I would say I could attest to that. So how do I come into the space a little bit? Is yeah, a few months ago, Des and I, we met up in Hong Kong and sorry, in Tokyo. And I have really been into health, into endurance, and also I'm a certified leadership coach. And she told me about this incredible opportunity, and really more about the water in the first place because of all the endurance sports, the triathlons and the ultras that I do. And I was just really intrigued and drank the water for a week and just completely fell in love with it and didn't actually think about the business at all in the beginning. But then learned a lot about it. Being German, really jumped in, and I really saw everything coming together. The work that I wanted to do from a coaching aspect, really wanting to create a brand, personal brand, and really just create a community. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. We're going to talk about all these exciting things, and for now, just yeah, back to Desiree.
All right. So we're also going to introduce you in just a little bit to Steph. But first of all, I want you to have a look at this question. Just read that for a while. And what is it in your life right now you're looking to change? And why are you here? Really sit with that for a minute and think really from your heart. Could there be something else out there that could make this dream life possible? So now that you met Fabian and me already, you saw that one of our values is really to make an impact together with people that we care about. Right? And we also want to be super present with our families. We want to be super present with our kids. And we want to create wealth, honestly, alongside the adventures our families are on. We do move every couple of years to different cultures. We want to have the ability to truly explore, immerse ourselves into the different cultures. So we need to find a way now to create that wealth alongside all of that. So then we made that decision, and you might ask, like, but why did you choose to work online? Like, why online? Why is that the solution? Well, first of all, is because your brand, you are creating a personal brand, right? And for that personal brand, that can never, ever be taken away from you. That belongs to you. And it also gives you the space to be your authentic self, to bring everything in that you believe in. And we've got so many people here who are doing it from so many different angles because they're putting their personal brand out there. You are able to actually earn a residual income that you are fully in control of. Can you imagine that? Just like while you're sleeping, the money starts rolling in, right? And we've got invaluable digital real estate. We've got a 24/7 reach. And look at us now, the three of us on here, the three speakers today, we're dialing in from 3 different countries, from 3 different time zones, but it's possible. And we've got people on here right now in Thailand, in Indonesia, in Australia, in Singapore as well, someone else. Like it's truly global, right? And we need this kind of setting for what we're trying to achieve. So basically, if we've got a business in our back pocket, we've got location freedom, and we can create fully our own schedules. And also this industry, a lot of people kind of still frown about it, but this is the future because it's estimated to grow to like 786 billion by 2026 and just keep on doubling from there. So if you're living abroad, if you want freedom to move, if you want to be present for your kids, be there for your family, travel whenever you want, if you really just want a choice, then this, like an online business, could really be that solution. But not just any online business, right? That's also a key of that. We want to look for an uncapped business model, one that makes sense. So first of all, we want to align ourselves with like a product or a service that people actually want. We don't want to spend like hours and hours just trying to persuade people, but it's already something that people want, they need, they love, and it's in demand. They're already investing in it, right? It's got longevity and stood the test of time, and it's got high commission. There's nothing worse, and I can talk about that when you work so incredibly hard and only get a little return. I want a high return for all the time I put into something. It's a business in a box that offers automation and time leverage systems. And there's so much education and proven strategies of people who have gone before us, right? So we can benefit from all of that. And most importantly, it's got legacy income potential, and we can leave that for our kids, our loved ones, but we'll speak about that more later too. So to summarize that a little bit, it's really a 3-step solution to an uncapped income online. So number one, you've got your high commission from an in-demand product already. So that's your business vehicle, and it's got a very high return on investment. Step 2, you've got your automation, you've got your education, you've got done for you time leverage systems. And step 3 is that you are surrounded by like-minded people. For me, that is incredibly important. There's mentorships, there's ongoing support. So you're actually never alone in this space. Entrepreneurship can become incredibly lonely, but I have never felt even for 1 second lonely in this space since I have been part of this collective. So now you're asking, okay, Des, what are you talking about? What is this product that you think everyone needs in their life? There are a few, but I'm going to talk about one in particular because that is one that we all love. And that is one I think that is so important for us because what blows my mind in all of this is that I can do all of what I just told you while making an impact in people's health. And because I'm a clinical aromatherapist, I am in the health space. For me, that's aligned and incredibly important. I'm not selling you some random whatever that I'm not interested in myself. No, this is part of my practice. I'm telling people to become healthy. I'm telling people to use essential oils and supplements and all of these natural modalities. But I've never actually looked at the foundation of our health, and that is the water that we drink, right? So when I wanted this machine. All I had in my mind is I need this for my family. That's why I started with that. The business also came afterwards when I understood. Well, you'll understand later. But for me, it was the product because this is also the only water ionizer globally with a medical grade certification. So what does it do? Why is this so magical? So first of all, it reduces oxidative stress. Now, what's that? So oxidative stress is when your body is in an imbalance of free radicals and antioxidants in your body, okay? And all of that brings on these conditions like cancer and Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, all of that. There's so much that we can control, like pollution, cigarette smoke around us, or all of these things. And all of that actually causes this oxidative stress. And we're always told you need to eat antioxidant-rich foods to help reduce it, right? Haven't we all been told that? But no one ever said you need to drink antioxidant-rich water. It's actually so much easier because we need to drink water anyways. And it's also molecular hydrogen rich. And I know a lot, especially in the social media, there's so much going on right now with molecular hydrogen and these hydrogen flasks and all of that, because people are starting to understand why that is so important to our health, right? Because actually molecular hydrogen is the most potent antioxidant out there. And these will neutralize all of these free radicals. Then better hydration. You're like, okay, how can this hydrate me better than my bottled water or filtered water or tap water that I'm drinking now? Well, when it goes through this machine, it's actually broken down into micro-clustered molecules. And the smaller the molecules is, it means it can penetrate our cells and move through our body and our bloodstream much, much better. So basically, that water is absorbed better in our body. And it's incredible because, like, I usually get up several times during the night to go to the bathroom. And since I've started drinking this water, I don't drink any less. On the contrary, I probably drink more. I don't go as much. And that was my my proof, you know, it's like, wow, it really gets absorbed much, much better into my body. Then there's also the fact that it's alkalized via electrolysis. So alkalized water means it has a higher pH, right? And the health industry has also caught on to that a long time that, oh, higher pH is really good for our body. So let's produce alkaline water, bottle it, and sell it to people really expensively. But then if you ever go to the supermarket and look at alkaline water, there's an ingredient list. And you're like, why does this water have ingredients? We don't want ingredients. And there's chemicals in there. There's things because they chemically change it to make it more alkaline, to raise the pH. But this is alkalized via electrolysis, so in a very natural form. So it's just much, much better. Okay, so that's only the drinking water. It has actually many, many more uses, 60 plus uses. So to clean your fruits and vegetables, and you can change the pHs by a click of a button. You can use it to sanitize, to disinfect. There's a beauty water setting. I've replaced like my toner and my hair conditioner with it. I've switched over a lot of my cleaning chemicals, my stain removers. It just does so much, and it's absolutely incredible. And we will also be sending all of you a little booklet that shows exactly what are all the uses of this water. So I like to explain things more in pictures, right? Our body is made up of 70% water. We are actually able to survive 3 weeks without food, right? But we're not even able to survive 3 days without water. We need water to live. Everyone needs to drink water. But the type of water just really makes such a big difference in people's health. So look at this grape. Like if we're all aging gracefully, right? We're trying to. And this could be what your cell looks like, a plump grape, right? Very juicy. Or do you want your cells to be like a shriveled up, dehydrated raisin? We don't want that. Or look at this apple. What happened to this apple? That's probably me after I packed my son's lunchbox, forgot to put the apple back in the fridge, and then it looks like this on the counter because it has oxidized, right? And imagine that happening to our cells and our body. I don't want that. I want it to remain crispy. I want it to remain fresh. So all of that we can do. We don't have to take supplements. We don't have to do any of that. Just change the water that we drink to improve the quality of our life. So I wouldn't want to buy this machine just from anybody. Also being German over here, I am like, okay, let me check this company out. Let me just see what it's all about. So behind these incredible health solutions, and there's actually a few that they do, many, but I've just spoken about one. They are a 50-year-old Japanese company. And I live in Japan. I love everything that Japan stands for. I value how they are. And in fact, we're all going next month to Okinawa to celebrate the 50th anniversary of this company. They have a 500-year vision to bring health and wealth to people all over the world. What I loved is what the founder of this company also said, we need to create true health. What is true health? What does that mean? It's got 4 elements. It's got your physical health, your mental health, the environmental health, and financial health. When you have all of that, you have found true health. So it needs to be a balance or harmony of all of that. So their products are all they're patented, and the compensation plan is patented. That's why a lot of people may not understand, because it actually doesn't exist anywhere else. It's totally unique to them. It's a global business. Again, we need that because we're global people. And it's a $2 billion company expected to grow to 4 billion, like double in the next 2 years. And that is just incredible. What I also value is that it's an original equipment manufacturer. So if the world goes crazy again and all of these things start happening with import and export problems, this company is not going to have an issue because they produce everything in-house, from the pipe to the cardboard box it gets delivered, and everything is made there. So they own the supply chain, and they have all of the ISO gold standards for quality control and environmental impact. So I was so happy, me as this health person educating in health, when I found this, because it couldn't be more aligned to what I'm trying to achieve with my existing personal brand. And now I am so excited and also honored to introduce Steph Stone to you. She is our mentor. She is the leader of our team, and we've learned everything that we know until this day from her. So I'm excited to bring her on, and she's going to share some incredible numbers with her and also her story.
Amazing. Hello, everyone. My name is Steph Stone. It's so nice to be here all the way on the east coast of Australia. And I love that you touched on it's such a global business, because it truly is. The business that we're in is, a truly global business with global distribution rights. And that was a big deal when stepping into this business. So a little bit about me is I have a background in wellness and health and wellbeing, which is so fitting for this space. I also have a background in business. So combine health, lifestyle, and wellness with business, it's the perfect storm. And I was really looking for a business to invest in at the time when a magic found me. I'm going to say a magic fell into my lap, not the other way around. So a little bit about me is I do have degrees in exercise science, nutrition, and dietetics. So I come from a health space. I had my own business for 10 years. in the personal training, exercise physiology, and nutrition space. Sold that. Then I got into corporate, where I headed up health, lifestyle, and wellness for mining industries in the energy and resources sector, looking after APAC. And that was brilliant because I was able to really bring nutrition and movement and mental health, Indigenous programs over here in Australia, and bring goodness from the outside in. But I got burnt out pretty quickly. If you've ever worked in corporate before, or if you've run your own business, you are wearing all the hats. And for me, I was looking for more. I was looking for a business that could allow me to not only amplify my wealth, because supporting myself financially and the currency that we use, called money, was really important to me. But I wasn't any longer willing to sacrifice my time for my life. And so I was on this quest to find something that felt more sophisticated for me. I got burnt out pretty quickly in corporate, and I was looking for more. I was looking for a location leverage. I wanted to be able to work from wherever with just a laptop and strong Wi-Fi. I wanted my time back because I no longer was willing to tolerate 4 weeks holiday a year. I just wanted to live a more fully freedom lifestyle and be able to have more time for my life and my family. And I was looking to invest into a business. I didn't know what it was. I knew that I wanted it to be online because I wanted that global shop front. I wanted that global reach. And I knew where we were heading 4 years ago, right? I stepped into this space 4 years ago. I knew that the leverage was going to be online. I'd come from traditional business, bricks and mortar. I'd been in one location. It doesn't have much leverage. And then I'd been an employee. And although I was on a really good 6-figure salary, it still was capped. And so for me, my soul felt capped because also there's not much room to dream when you know exactly what's coming in and exactly what's going out. And I just felt that I was here for more, right? And I feel like a lot of us here, whether you're watching this right now or you're on the replay, I truly believe that we are born into this world to step into our full potential. And so if you have the courage to be able to step into your full potential, there is limitless, like unlimited possibility. And I knew that to be true for both my quality of life, but also financially. Broke is a choice, struggle is a choice, you get to choose. And so what you get to choose is what solutions are out there in order for me to be able to diversify, right? And become smarter in my decision-making around compounding my assets, besides real estate, besides shares, besides being able to trade my time for money. What else is out there in order for you to really change the game, right? And that's where this business kind of came into my world. I looked at it and it made complete sense. It was a complete no-brainer. So moving to the next slide, Des, I really feel that the big difference here is a question. And this question is the way you are currently creating an income or earning an income or playing that game, right, going to pay you for the rest of your life, whether you are working or not? And that question hit home for me when I first looked at this model, because coming from traditional business, I was like, well, if I wanted to take time off, you're not going to get paid, right? In that traditional sense. You might have a small bit of overflow if you've got a team or a staff, but not really, right? And also, I didn't want to work in corporate forever either. And so I was really looking at, what can I set up that's going to compound, that's going to create leverage, that's going to have financial arms in my life, right? That is going to actually keep growing with or without me. And that's what I truly wanted to tap into. So you get to ask yourself, is the way that you're currently earning and circulating and where you're investing your time right now, e.g. how you're earning your income, is that going to pay you for the rest of your life? Because a magic does, right? And I don't know many other solutions or models that truly do. So let's dive straight into it. The big difference between what we do right here in this space is it's called high ticket affiliate marketing. High ticket means, yes, the investment is one time and a little higher, but the returns and the commissions are very, very high. It's also very strategic. You get into profit very quickly and you are in profit forever. So when you invest into a business, most businesses require reinvestments continuously, always needing capital, right? With online, it's completely different. Right now, the internet is free. It's amazing. I don't know if it'll be like that forever. But right now, the internet is free. And the only thing you really spend in your overheads is either paid advertising, right? Through Meta or Facebook or wherever, whether you wanted to touch up your personal brand or what your Instagram looks like, because we're in the social selling industry and it is powerful. And then there's a small hack within every business that allows you to be able to compound and leverage. But essentially, we're in high ticket affiliate marketing in the direct selling association space, which means that, again, your commissions are anywhere between, they're in the thousands and we'll get there, right? But I wasn't in this space just for a couple of $100. Like for me, it was like, if I'm going to do this, it needs to really stack up financially. It needs to look very healthy. So for us, we build on a really powerful strategy called the quad strategy. And Des mentioned in the beginning that the company that we align with is called Enagic, a Japanese company. The product that they actually produce is water technology, right? Water ionization. And we're going to find that more and more people are going to be seeking out hydrogen-rich or electrolyte-reduced water. And if you were to type electrolyte-reduced water into PubMed, you're going to find so much science and literature around how this water is incredibly, incredibly hydrating and beneficial for the cells of the body, right? And I have a degree in chemistry, so we can go there, but we won't tonight. But just so you know, is that we are in the industry of wellness and water. And so I truly believe that more and more people are waking up to water awareness. And it's not just any water, right? No longer are people even willing to tolerate just filtered water. More and more people are looking for molecular hydrogen, right? Or electrolyte-reduced water because of its ORP, which is oxidative reduction potential, creating a negative charge in the body, e.g. antioxidant, right? So once you dive into the water side of things, you're going to be blown away. But for me, you know, the business blew me away. It's a strategy that we built. And so essentially, I just wanted to show you here that, yes, Desiree touched on the K8, which is the water ionizer machine, which is the flagship. It's amazing. But they also produce a in-shower and bath. So it takes the chlorine out of the water and remineralizes it, right? Out of the shower head, and into the bath. So that is the Anespa, which is also, it doesn't get talked about as much as the K8, but it really is a hero. Like if you're going to use the Anespa and you go anywhere on a holiday, trust me, like you struggle. I sometimes even travel with my Anespa because it can travel under the aircraft. So, you know, the quad is the Anespa, which goes into the bathroom, but also the K8. And the second K8 is used as a loaner machine. Because if you're like myself and Fab and Des, we're in the space of being in business. And so with day spas or health cafes or businesses or even friends, if anyone kind of tastes, touches and feels the K8, it's a guaranteed sale. Nobody's kind of going back. Once you go to Kangen, you can't go back kind of thing. So it's used as a little loaner machine as a side kind of strategy, because the main hero that we actually teach here is digital marketing, right? I've built my business purely through Instagram, which is wild to me. And then the fourth product is Ucon, right? Which is a turmeric supplement, which you can dive deeper into the discovery process, which is the next step after this webinar, which will really show you what the Ucon is. But it allows us to really hack in this term called legacy income, which I'm going to show you. But just so you know, it only takes 5 of these quad packages to actually have your investment paid back, and you're in pure profit. I've been in pure profit for 3.5 years. Do you know how good that feels? Feels really good. Next slide. So this is the numbers, and I wanted to show you really, I don't usually say to impress you, but to impress upon you, but I actually do want to impress you because this is impressive, right? The numbers are impressive and the numbers do the talking and they speak for themselves. So essentially you invest into your own quad, right? Which is those 4 products. And then it's only 5 quad sales and that investment's paid back in your own pure profit. Now there's many different ways to invest, many different ways to dice this up, but essentially you can see the commissions back, right? From your first sale. So just for investing into your own quad, you're getting $720 USD back. By the way, Enagic actually, we've got this in all different currencies, but for the purposes of the universal conversation right now, we'll talk in USD. But if you're in Euro, you're in New Zealand, you're in Australian dollars, right? I was talking to someone in Uruguay the other day. So these are in all different currencies. But for here, USD is a universal conversation. So you're getting commissions back for your own sale, which is amazing. Then your first commissions in, they're almost 3,000 per sale, which is unbelievable. So again, I always say to people, have the courage to make the investment. If you can see the solution in this as a business model, because your return on investment comes quickly and it compounds very quickly. So I never tell anyone to worry about the investment up front, because if you're in a forever ROI, like the profit is forever once you're actually like pay your investment, then that's probably the smartest investment you could probably ever make, right? And it's kind of like another whole thing to land for us, especially if you're not from this online world, because online is a whole new way of earning and circulating. So you can see there, you're in the thousands per sale, all the way up to almost just $5,000 per sale for that quad. So I just wanted to share those numbers with you, because like they are impressive, and it's not just a couple of $100, it is in the thousands, which is why there is so much leverage in this business, right? So yeah, this is something that you'll get to look at in your own currency through the discovery process as well. So this is where it gets really juicy. And again, I truly feel like that we have been brought into this world to believe that our six-figure salary is, we've made it. And if you're on a six-figure salary in the corporate world, or you're on a multi, like you really, and at the end of the day, I think with a variable income, especially of the commissions of these sizes, you get to really change the narrative. And it's something that I've certainly changed for me, right? So I've changed the narrative, because for me, it's like, you know, this gets to be a per monthly income if you want it to be, right? So the month that just went past in April, I was just earned $22,000 just for that month in Australian dollars, right? You can earn up to 20 to 30 to 50. The world is your oyster, but you get to reverse engineer the numbers once you take a look at the business. Your goal might be just an extra 5K a month. Your goal might be 50K a month. Whatever it is, it's possible in this space, because the commissions are so high. And yes, humbly speaking, we all start at level 1, but like you saw before, you get to very quickly compound. And so you get to really dive into this properly through the discovery process to really take a deep dive here. So as you can see, if you're looking at $50,000 extra in your life, it would be 11 sales in this business. And 11 sales, if you're in the sales industry, right? That's not many sales, you know, if you were to look at, okay, well, I want to make an extra 50K. You can see the numbers for 100K and also for 150K. So my whole messaging here is, if I was on 150K for a year in my corporate role, but yet in this space, I only need to make 25 sales to make 150, I could probably do that 25 sales in 1 month. Okay, let's be conservative. I could definitely do those 25 sales in 3 months. So all of a sudden, my big, juicy corporate salary, where I'm working my butt off, selling my soul for the 9 to 5 with 4 weeks holiday per year, doesn't look so glamorous anymore when I'm looking at and I'm passionate about the full freedom lifestyle, right? Because I truly believe that life is so short, and I wasn't here just to be so married to somebody else's dream or a job and not live out my full potential and live the full freedom life. That's what I really am here to do. And I'm here to teach it and coach it, because I truly believe that we all get access to that. And we get to change the narrative and plug into solutions just like this. But I want to show you something even more exciting. I think it's my last slide for the night. This here is what really got me. And it's a term called legacy income. Legacy income is when you actually plug into a certain level in this business space where you're paid for life. So if we're to look at the chart here, it's called 6A2-3. It's the absolute minimum that you'll be paid for life, which is a $5,000 USD monthly for life, a $25,000 bonus. But that's just on top of the income that's already generating through your entire organization, right? And so I like to say to people when they come to me about this business, I say it's the 1 to 3 to 5 year plan. Year 1 is your apprenticeship. You're stepping in, you're in the arena, you're giving yourself the best shot, you're setting yourself up, you're making sales, they're high ticket, it's nice, right? It's extra to what you're already doing. By year 3, you have absolute choice. You could leave your job if you wanted to, you could go part-time, you have enough income coming in that you now become flexible. And then by year 5, you really should be hitting full financial freedom. And so I asked myself the question when I got into this space, if it took me 5 years to be paid for life and be fully financially free when I just worked for the last 25 years as an adult, would it be worth it to me? And so I ask you the same questions. If it took you 3 to 5 years to become fully financially free, where you didn't actually have to go back to work again because you'll be paid for life, would it be worth it to you? And this is not some pipe dream, right? I'm speaking from experience now and results. I'm 4 years in this business and I'm about 12 months off legacy income for life. And so, you know, time's going to go past anyway, right? And I have a lot of friends that are at legacy at -2, -4, -5. It's quite wild. So this is something that I feel like you also need to know. It's willable to whoever you want it to be. So if you don't have children, it's willable to anyone that you choose. In fact, before I'd hand over to Fabian, I just will share with you how real legacy income is with a Nagic. And there's a beautiful woman, and she had a Nagic business. And she was building her business. She sadly passed away in her 50s. She left the business to her children, right? And they have built the business up where they're just about to hit legacy and they'll be paid for the rest of their lives. And that's the impact that this business can have. It changes the game and it changes the way that you get to live and you earn and you circulate. And it's changing the way that your children are brought into this world and what they actually absorb from you as well, right? And how possible that this gets to be. And so all you need to do is expand your own possible and believe that anything is possible. And then in my perspective, it absolutely is. So that's a little bit about the Enagic compensation structure. It's absolutely wild, and it's been one of the biggest blessings in my life, quite genuinely. It's actually changed my life because it's fully set me free. And now I teach a lot of others how to do the same. So handing over to you, Fab.
Yes, thank you so much, Steph. And I have to say the legacy definitely was also my tipping point, just because I wanted to create that for my kids. And when I then started, one of the things, obviously, let's say being in the business world still is, you know, how is this going to run, right? Like, how are we going to make sure, are there systems? What's in place, actually? Is there education? Because there was a lot of questions I had, right? And when I was going through figuring this out, you know, this was one of the questions that I was asked, or this was one of the statements that was thrown at me, you know, without automation and education systems, you don't have a time leverage business, and that's what we all want. What you actually have is a second job, right? And learning more, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit in the next slide, is that what you get actually with this business is all of these things. You're actually taken by the hand to make sure that you're going to be able to run this business really from day zero. And that's just incredible, right? So when we talk about automation and education, what is it that you actually get is it removes all the guesswork, right? It collapses time for you, right? Because I can attest to that. I had a lot of questions in the beginning around how do I set certain things up. Social was not really my thing, right? Like learning these things from real masters with their craft, and how Steph said, there's so many people in this industry that have incredible success stories of going literally from zero to hitting the ranks that Steph had mentioned within 6 months, 12 months, even within a week. Like it's just really wild. And all of this you get within this collective, right? So the education, all the models, there is, once you join, there's actually a whole course on the business launch. So what is it actually that you need to do, right? Which you kind of see here on the left, scrolling through. That's the platform that we have that really takes you by the hand, right? It's all tried and tested, right? So all the people that are in here that have lived this for years, and Steph can attest to that, these are all things that have been proven and that have worked or are working. They're changing, obviously, because in the internet and online, things change quickly. But that's the stuff that's always constantly updated, right? So, and as well, there's all the trainings. There is very important. There is also, when it comes to automation, right? You can go as far as having a sales team doing your sales calls, right? So for me, for example, if I say, hey, I still have my 9 to 5, I cannot do it, right? Something like someone like Steph could jump in and help me actually take that call, right? And that's amazing. So it's really a 24/7 online business, even if you're offline, right? Where things are just moving, and that is just so abundant, right? Yeah, that's maybe if you go to the next slide. I really want to talk about this a little bit more in detail, because this was one of the things I have to say that I was really, really craving for. I, in the corporate space, at some stage, you really do become a lone wolf. And I was I was really, wanting to find something where there's a collective, where there's just a group of people that all kind of want to head into the same direction, whether it's financial freedom, time freedom, health, whatever it is, and are really there for each other. And the collective that we have, which is the Wildly Empowered Collective, is really that. And the community and the mentorship and the support you get is really next to none, right? So as I talked a little bit, it's the whole education system that you have all done for you, the strategies, right? To really go fast track to get to your results that you want, right? And what's also important is everyone has a different story, right? Like my story is different from Des's story and all the people that are in here. So how quickly you want to make this a success is really up to you, right? But the group is there to support you. And from, let's say, the coaching that I've done also now in the corporate space, right? Everyone wants that, the support, everyone wants to be heard, and everyone wants to be part of a tribe, right? And this is really what the Wildly Empowered has done with so much grace and so much, just love and support that is just really, really next to none. I mentioned the sales experts. So you don't have to be a sales expert, right? There's people that come in that don't like sales at all. And over the time and sort of learning from the craft from the masters, let's say, they eventually potentially then take the sales calls themselves, but you do not have to. A lot of people are like, I'm not in sales. It's icky, right? It's actually a service, right? So once you see that and you see that Steph is an absolute master at it, at some stage, it becomes natural. At some stage, you would probably overcome those fears and you learn that craft, and then eventually you do it yourself, right? There's a lot of collaboration in the group as well. There's a lot of things around mindset, coaching, right? 80-20 rule. 80% about this business is about your mindset. There's a lot. I mean, this whole thing, I cannot tell you how much this is actually transformation, right? The business, what we've talked about, is all amazing, but the work that you get to really work on yourself and do that in a collective, I think is almost just as much or even more than the business itself, because you get to learn so much about yourself and you get supported really 24/7 on this, right? There's incredible mentorship from leaders, 6-7 figures, and that's all part of it. So that is really just an incredible collective to be part of. And on top of that, bringing that community together, there's a lot of exclusive in-person retreats. Steph just did one a couple of weeks ago in Australia. So that's ongoing, right? So that is just a little bit on the incredible collective that you get to be part of. And the Wildly Empowered Collective just has so much momentum. We were about, it has pretty much doubled. We're now about 600 members all over the world. It started in Australia, so the majority definitely is in Australia, but it's really all over the world. And with the momentum that you also see here on this page, it's just incredible to see what is happening right now in the business, because it's an exponential business, right? You start off, you have more people bring in more people, and that's where really at some tipping point the magic happens. And that is really what is happening now in in this collective. So in just 4 months now, we've pretty much cracked 2 million. And what's incredible to mention here is that depending on what ranks, but up to 70% in the business actually paid out to the distributors, to us, right? And within here in this example, $1 million was paid out to all of these members within the collective. And that's really just the starting point. 2024 is really the tipping point for this collection. And it's just really, really incredible to be part of it. So Des, if you go to the next page. So yeah, just to highlight this a little bit, because this is so, so important. There is a lot of coaching that happens within this collective. So there is a lot of support 24/7. There's a lot of, you name it, the Facebook groups and all of that, where people really support each other, and where also a lot of mentorship is set up with some of the key leaders, right? To really learn whether this is launching your business, whether this is mindset stuff, whether this is, sales stuff, whether this is money. There are so many topics basically that you will bit by bit be equipped to really run your business, right? Important is also to mention the hub. So once you become part of TWEC, there's a hub where you have all the courses, and the key one really being launching your business as a starting point to really get you going on your journey, right? And then there's very important when it comes to the community aspect. Again, there's weekly, bi-weekly calls at different point. There's different 90-day runs where we all get behind numbers and all of that. And that's really on an ongoing basis. And if you ever can make these calls and all of that, obviously, then there's replays as well. So this is a key part. So you might be asking now, okay, we understand the product, we understand all this amazing abundance in the comp plan and what is really out there for you. How does all of this come together, right? So that's what I want to talk to here a little bit, right? So you see the little pictures of Des and me here, and then also with Steph. So it's really the starting point of, like, for us, how we start or work this business is really in the social world, in the social media world, right? So it's really about creating your personal brand. This is really kind of where it starts, right? What's important to mention, though, this is the main, let's say, vehicle that we use to drive this. However, there's a lot of people that do it in different ways, offline as well, right? We just, over now the time, obviously, with the internet and just being global, it's the quickest way, right, to just reach, right? But it's not the only way. I just want to mention that as well, because some people are like, social, I'm not so sure, right? But in explaining a little bit what the process or the flow is, right, this is kind of where it all starts off. It normally then comes to where we are today, right? So this is a webinar now to take you through this incredible opportunity, right? And then explaining a little bit what it is and how you can, be part of it if this is something that fits into your world and you want to create a business around it. Which then leads into what Steph has mentioned, also the clarity call, right? And the clarity call is then really, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions, we're just scratching the surface, where you can talk with the specialist then about really any questions that you have, right? And also talking a little bit about what it is that you actually want to achieve with your life and where you want to go. So it is, obviously about the business, but it's also a bit of a coaching call, right? That is just very, very powerful. And part of that is also that you go through a discovery process again to really understand, all the details of what we've just done. And yeah, once that is done, then it's pretty much off to the races. And the investment in the business, I think I want to mention that a little bit as well, right? Because if I've also been looking into potentially setting up other businesses. I was always like, I want to set up a brand. How does that work? I even had a business before. I was really into photography, right? So if I think about just my business of setting up photography, the investment in that business, and this is crazy, was more than what you have to do with the Nagic. And this was a side business I was running. It was just a side hustle because I just love photography and I wanted to, make some money to pay for my equipment. That was it, right? Now, and in here, right, with the investment that you have to make is really into the product. And the amazing part is the product you actually use for your own health, right? So there's not much that you actually have to invest other than the product and use the product, right? And there's no distribution. You don't have to buy the product. There's no Onagic's going to charge you $10,000 for marketing. There's none of that, right? It's all there for you. You get a distribution once you have the product and off you go. And that for me was like, wow, right? Like that was just incredible, right? And I think a lot of people underestimate that. I had a conversation yesterday at work with someone. The wife is doing a coffee shop, and he was because I was like, hey, explain me, so the numbers, how much is it to set up this business, right? And he explained to me it was in the six figures in Singapore, okay, in Singapore, right? For 30 square meters to set up a coffee shop, right? And here we're talking a few $1,000s to set up a business using a product for your own health that's going to last you for decades, depending on how you're going to, make sure that you take well care of it. And that for me was just incredible. So I think it's important to mention that as well, that the investment in the business is really peanuts if you look at it from a long-term perspective and you start to compare it with other business models, right? And once you have that, it's really, off to launching your business with Trek having all the support and just really, getting off to a wonderful start. So this is just taking you through a little bit of how all of this comes together. And now I just want to hand it over to Des to round this up for us.
Yes, so now what are your next steps? So we have taken you through part of that journey already. We've connected with you. You've now seen this webinar, and I hope we've answered a lot of questions that you may have had. If not, please drop them in the comments. We're happy to address them. So your next active step would actually then to book your clarity call. And we have something really special for you because we have the one and only Steph Stone that has offered to take on 10, 30-minute clarity calls for us. And it's really on a first come, best dressed kind of basis here. So I would really highly recommend. I mean, you've seen what she's achieved. You've seen like the successes she's had. She's our personal coach, right? And all of this. So to jump on a clarity call with her, I think to get, because everyone's situation is different. And also everyone's vision is different and what they want to achieve. So jump on a call with her to get clarity. And then there is, of course, the discovery process where we dive more. We have things where you can dive more into the product. What does this product do, right? To understand more about it, but then also more into the numbers. What do you need to do to achieve which numbers? It's all there for you. And then, as Fabian said, you get to invest in your own health. And I never personally look at it at a sale, but for me, it's like blessing someone else with health, because this is for us what it's about. That is why we're in this space, but that's why we have consciously chosen this path with this product and with this company, because it's just not anything. It's not just all about making money, but it's about the true health. And that is the physical, the mental, the environmental, because it has a lot of environmental impacts, and then the financial health to that as well. So with that all being said, we are so grateful that you have joined us today. And yes, if you have any questions, please put them into the chat. And let me have a look. Thank you so much, Steph. Steph has dropped the link where it's a Calendly link, so you can book a strategy call with her directly. And then we will also send it out separately to anyone who's catching the replay of this. So yes, so if there's no other questions, we're very grateful that you joined us today. And we can't wait to have you, beautiful souls, in our community to be part of this amazing journey that we're walking now to creating our dream life and creating that legacy wealth through health.